1.
Hello, and welcome to the den.
Well, we got nothing but love for you, baby. I'm Stacy.
I'm Richard. And in the den, we talk about anything you want to talk about.
So let's get right into it with our first letter. All right. Today we're going to be reading a letter from Frustrated in Seattle. I've been dating my boyfriend for 6 years. We have a good relationship, and I love him dearly. Problem is, I've never had an orgasm. I've been faking it the entire time. I wanted to have a good sex life, and I know it means I need to be honest. But how do I tell him everything he's been doing for the past 6 years hasn't worked? Ooh, that's a rough one. I think I'll take the lead on this one, baby.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah.
I feel for him.
Yeah, and I feel for that female, too, okay? So, okay, the thing is we have to get right into, a lot of women fake it. In the beginning of the relationship, you don't really know him, he doesn't really know you, vice versa with the body, so nobody knows what works. So it's no big deal to fake it in the beginning. Hopefully, over time, it usually works itself out. I was lucky enough that it worked itself out, you know, in my situation, within the first 3 months, so it's not a very big blow to the ego. 6 years, that's a big blow to a male ego that he hasn't brought you to the enchantment, you know what I'm saying? So, what you're going to have to do is find a way to let him know without busting his male bubble, we'll call it. No pun intended. All right. So what you have to do is, this is what you do. This is a good idea. Tell him that you want an exploratory day. What is an exploratory day? Okay, I'm glad you asked. An exploratory day is a day where you tell him he wants to explore you and everything about your body. You know what I mean? I want you to touch me here. I want you to touch me there. You know what I mean? You tell him it's all about me today. What I ask you to do, I want you to do it. And girl, you put on that sexy dominatrix voice, and he'll think it's some sort of freaky thing. Tell him that you read about this in one of your girlfriend's magazines at work, or whatever the case is. You read about it online. This is something that you want to do to spice up your relationship. This way, he doesn't think that that he's not doing what he's supposed to do in the bedroom. You know, 6 years, that's a long time to be with somebody to keep on doing the same thing. So you got to do some things different every now and again. So it's not a problem for him when you go to him and tell him that you want this exploratory day, okay? So in the meantime, while you get in the exploratory day, he's getting to know what's making you squeal, and you yourself get to know that he can make you squeal, girl, you know? And then all of this is coming, and you realize that you're capable and that your man can please you, and once you guys are into a routine, and you realize that he's pleasing you on a consistent level, then you say, hey, you know, can we try this? Can we try that? And hopefully you'll get to that place where you'll be able to say, you know what, you know, it wasn't working for me in the beginning, but I think we're doing some stuff now, you know?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? That's some nice ideas. I feel you on that, you know. And that's my suggestion to the ladies. Ladies, stop the line, because that faking, all that, men don't like that. Be honest, you know. And what you were saying is good, you know. We want the honesty. You need to point us in the right direction, you know. Men, sometimes we need a map, you know.
But sometimes y'all also need your ego stroked, Richard. You know doggone well that if you with a woman for the first time and you don't bring her to the promised land, you're going to feel like less of a man. You may not want to mess with that chick no more. So she just want to boost your ego up a little bit, let you know that you are King Richie. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all can still continue to do what you got to do.
Okay. But at the same time, there has to be some honesty in a relationship.
Yeah, I agree.
And, you know, talk to him, say all that stuff to him, and eventually it's going to work. As long as the love is there,
But you have to keep in mind, in the beginning of a relationship, there is no love. What you have is attraction in the beginning. And she's trying to keep the attraction going. And what the problem that you have in Mama, Frustrated in Seattle, by the way, I love that title. That was hot, you know, Frustrated in Seattle. The problem that you have in here is that eventually you do have to come clean. You do have to be a little bit honest and say, well, when you become, you know, secure enough with this man, you have to be honest enough to say, hey, can we do this? And do you mind doing that? Now, in the beginning, I know you don't want to seem like the freak of the week, right? But after 6 years, this man knows all the freaky things you done did. You got to be comfortable enough with him to go ahead and let that inner freak go. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and tell him, hey, I read this in Vogue, or I read this in Cosmo, wherever you want to come up with, and this will give you the opportunity to do some new stuff without, you know, damaging that fragile male ego. You know what I'm saying?
And Stacey, you touched on a good point. You said read the Vogue or something like that. I'm saying, men, educate yourself, because these ladies, they're reading, they're learning things. You got to catch up. You know, you just can't sit there and think the one thing you do is going to work for every woman you deal with. I want you to keep reading, get yourself educated. Hey, and don't let that woman get the best of you. You read, you learn, and you take her to that promised land. You don't have to sit up there except faking and lying and whatnot. You read, you get educated, and you get in there, put it down.
Well, how do they know? You don't know whether or not a woman is faking. How do they know? The only way they're going to know women is if we stop being timid. You know, look, I'm not telling you to go ahead and do the whole Kama Sutra book with every man that you're with. You know what I'm saying? You have to know who your man is, okay? And if this is your man, you know, you should be secure enough with him to tell him exactly what you want. And if he is your man, he is secure enough with you to do exactly what you want. Don't be scared, okay? You know, I know there was a time when women weren't supposed to speak up and say what they like up in the bedroom, but today is not that day. Not that we got to be the freaks that everybody is portraying us to be, the video hoes and all of that stuff, but there is a time and a place for the freak. Let him out when you're with your man, and he will appreciate that freak. Go ahead and tell him, I like my nipple squeezed right there. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get too freaky or whatever, but, you know, and like my man say, men, all women, just because Susie likes her nipples closed that way, does not mean Sarah likes it too, okay? Find out what Sarah likes, not what Susie likes, okay?
Nice point. And that's what I have to say about the men. Just go ahead, watch your wife, see, look into her soul, and give her everything she got. Because all men, deep down, want to please their woman. They don't want to be the guy sitting on the sideline and Dexter come in and take her and whatnot. You gotta be able, be able to put it down. So be in tune with your woman, and don't feel insulted if she directs you where to go. And that's my own thing. That's my plea to the men out there, because I want the women
to be able.
Yeah.
See, that's
the reason. Express themselves.
Right. That's the reason why we can't express ourselves, is because we don't want to insult our man. You know, and I hate to just put it out there like the male ego is fragile. You know what I mean? Nobody who loves anybody, you know, nobody wants to see that person hurting. And men are very sensitive because they know how hard it is to please a woman. They're very sensitive about their ability to please their woman. So if your woman comes up to you and tells you, hey baby, can you touch here? It doesn't necessarily mean that you haven't been doing it right. You know what I mean? It just means that she wants you to touch here. As simple as that. Y'all always talking about how y'all simple. Okay, sometimes we can be simple too, you know. We just want to be touched here. She say touch me here, touch her now. You know, if she likes you to pat this down, don't question why she like it. That's what she likes, you know.
Yeah, and my thing is, ladies, if you do have a problem saying that type of stuff to your man, you have to look deep into your relationship. Is this the person you want to be with long term? Because if you're going to be with somebody long term, you have to be able to discuss that type of stuff without having all this friction leading to fights and all that, you know, because bottom line, you both want to have a good time. sex is a big part of a relationship, and you want it to be good. Just men want it to be good with them, you know, they orgasm. Your lady wants to orgasm too. So that's my thing. And ladies, look deep into your man. If he's not willing to do that with you, you have to talk about some things.
Yeah. So that's all I have today, and I sincerely hope, Frustrated, that I helped you out a little bit, and I hope that you get to the promised land, all right?
And Frustrated, if you need the link to some website, get you some toys. If your man can't do it for you, I'll send it to you. Just write another link.
Thank you for joining us in the den.
All right.